Okay, okay. Um, Hi everyone. A very warm welcome to all those who are joining live and to those who are watching recording later. Thank you for making time for yourselves. I'm Coach Sanvi and I'm so glad to see you all here today. Let me just quickly introduce myself. I am a life coach and I help people become the most confident version of themselves by working on their mindset and the beliefs. I help them uh, go from I am not enough to I am enough. So through my one-on-one sessions, I help people understand where is the lack of clarity, where is the underconfidence truly coming from. And another way I love to support people is by sharing practical tools like journaling guides, audio notes, exercises to just, help them reflect and reconnect with themselves. And for that, I have created a bunch of resources that you guys can explore. I'll just share the link in the chat over here and in the recording as well. I will upload the link. So here it is. You can check this out. And I do these sessions because I believe understanding yourself is truly the first step towards your transformation. So, and it's the first step towards building that lasting change. So, I'm wanting to bring that first step to you. And if there's ever a topic that you would want me to talk about, or if there's any doubt that you're sitting with, you can always drop me a DM. I love listening from you. Okay, so let's dive into today's topic that is, what is really stopping you from taking action? So, let's look at a common situation where inaction shows up without us realizing it. So, there is this couple, um, both are just caught up into their routines and life is busy for them. Okay. At the end of the day, they sit around and the one person says it to their partner. They express that I feel like we have both become so busy. Whenever I talk, it seems like you're not really there. And the partner responds, oh, I didn't know you were feeling that way. I'll be more present the next time. But then the next time never comes. Eventually, this person brings it up again, and uh, the partner says, there's just so much going on. My boss is being so difficult. Work is really overwhelming. I'm completely exhausted. I don't know how to fix this right now. You see what's happening here? You'll notice that this isn't about intention. The intention is there, but the action is missing. Not because they don't care. Both of them, they do care about their relationship, but this person is like too drained to act. Their system is overwhelmed. Their mind isn't thinking clearly. And that's exactly where it all begins, right? Let me be, let us be honest that action is important. Without it, our dreams stay dreams. We can't wish our way into better relationships, better careers, or health. But still, even when we know what we want, we often don't act on it, especially when it comes to things that matters the most to us. That's where inaction shows up. Some of us are able to navigate the resistance that we are feeling inside, while some of us are really stuck into that loop. We are always, for the people who are stuck into the loop, you would see this would come very naturally. You'd hear this a lot that, oh, I'm afraid, I'm feeling unmotivated. Then people overthink about what could have happened, what would happen if I do this. And sometimes people are just complaining about the situation around them. Uh, this person wasn't supportive. I said them, but they did not do it. What's my fault? So they're just complaining about how things are not in their favor. Then, then we are also stuck with this loop. thinking that, uh, what if I'm not able to do it? Am I enough? Do I deserve this or not? Sometimes you're feeling too lazy and too tired to show up. I don't think I can do this. We're caught up in our comfort zones. We also lack of time. In the example, also we saw the how lack of time is coming up. The partner saying, "I don't have time for this." And sometimes we are caught up into analysis paralysis. If I do this, that would happen. If I do that, this would happen, but then I would miss upon on that. And all of that is causing the inaction. Now, all of these reasons we have seen why we don't act on it. But these are not the actual reasons. These are not the actual problems. It's just a sign that something is not right. Something within us is not working straight because of which all of this is coming up. Our fears are again and again coming up. You feel that disconnect, you feel unmotivated. All of those comes up because of a different reason. These are just the signs. Now, I would like you guys to reflect upon what is that one thing you want to do, but you haven't started yet. If you really reflect about, okay, all of these problems that I have, I know I need to take some action. Like, have you ever thought about what that action is? So let's say uh, people are just coming up and using my time. You know that's the problem, but the action would be drawing boundaries. So that is something that you're not picking up. So what's that one thing you want to do for a while, but you haven't started yet? Just reflect upon it, keep in your head, and uh, when you think about it and listen to what I have to offer, you might be able to come up with something. You might be able to bring more and more awareness around your problem. Okay, so today I'm not going to talk about inaction due to overthinking, procrastination, all of that, all the reasons that I just mentioned. I'm not going to like delve into each of that and say that this is the problem, etc. All of that is just your behavior to the triggers you have inside of you. You are into inaction because you are triggered about something, and that trigger is not leaving, not keep making you feel safe. And that is the whole job of your body becomes to make you feel safe. And that is where inaction is coming. We're not going to look upon at uh, how to overcome with procrastination and things like that. No, because that is surface level thing. I really want you to go deeper into things. I really want to talk about the root cause of those issues because unless we understand the root, no amount of effort, therapy, time, and money investment, nothing is going to work. Yes, it may resolve the issue for a bit. It may resolve the issue at the surface level. For now, you might start feeling better. For now, you might take some actions, but those patterns will keep coming back in your life in different forms. That is why I really want to like get deeper into these things. So, what is the actual cause of inaction? The real reason that we often don't take action is that our energies are not aligned. Our subconscious and our conscious minds are in conflict. What we think we want and what we actually believe deep inside, they don't match. And that is what is creating the conflict. Consciously, you really want to move forward. You're really looking up to things that can come up once you take that action. But subconsciously, there is this resistance inside of you. It's like trying to drive a car with the handbrake on. No matter how much you press the accelerator, the car is not going to move smoothly, right? Or even worse, the engine is going to get damaged over time. Your mind is working like that as of now when you are in inaction. There's one part of you that is pushing ahead, but the other part is pulling you back. That, there is something that you need to resolve. Until you resolve that, how are you going to move forward? That constant fight is bringing you towards exhaustion. That's what is making you feel stuck. So it's not laziness or lack of ambition that is holding you back. It's your deeper beliefs that you have formed all through your life experiences. These beliefs often stem from fear or from how you see your self-worth. Like let's take an example. You have a project to submit to a client. You know there are 10 tasks pending to be able to, submit it to the client. And you know exactly what needs to be done, what those 10 tasks are. You sit down, you start working on that, and you even plan out, okay, this is what I'm going to take up first, then that, all of this needs to happen in this order, right? But just as you're about to start, something shifts, something happens, the excuses begin. What if I can't finish it? What if the client doesn't like it? What if it's not good enough? And then, while you are into this, it may happen that a colleague comes up, someone calls you up, I need your help with this, and you're like, okay, let's go do that, because you're just too afraid, you're just too exhausted actually to, look into all of, to face your fears, to face your thoughts. You're exhausted and you're like, okay, maybe a distraction would help right now. Let me help him, and then I will have this much time, I can finish it up. I'll do it back. I'll do it then. I'll come back to this later on. Haven't Doesn't it happen in that particular state? And while I'm trying to explain these things to you, I really want you to be thinking about the situations in which you, you have been actually not acting, and try to connect with these examples. So if someone, let's say another example that I can come up with is, someone is wanting to improve their health, they are wanting to go to gym, and they'll be like, yes, I want to achieve this target. Let's do that. But then they're like, आज नहीं उठ पाए, कल जाते हैं. I'm feeling too tired. I'm having some sort of stiffness around my body. Uh, which gym to go? What clothes to wear? And uh, like, I don't know what I'm gonna eat. Maybe I'll do it next month. And stuff like that. Today's this date, maybe next month, etc., etc. All of those excuses keep coming in. But deeper inside, that person is not ready to go because they're quite afraid. What if they're not able to do it? What if um uh, I don't think I deserve that. Even after going to the gym, I'm not going to improve upon my eating habits, so why go to the gym? All of that thought process they are just stuck into. This is exactly where all of the old patterns, like, kick in. These patterns kick in at that point in time. And if you have been really following my work, you would have heard me talk about these things before: fear of failure, fear of success, fear of rejection, constantly seeking approval, struggling with boundaries. I keep talking about those things, I keep creating content around that. Today, I want you to take deeper. These patterns did not come out of nowhere. They were built through years of rejection, through all the efforts you made to earn the love and attention, through all the ways you tried to become worthy, worthy of love, worthy of care, worthy of creating an identity. You've always felt you don't deserve. And all of that has happened because love in your world was probably inconsistent or conditional. When I say that, and I'm trying to tell you that in your early years of life, you haven't received consistent love, or it has come to you through conditions. If you do this, you make parents, you make people around you happy, they start caring about you. If you're a good person, if you're a good child, be well mannered, well behaved, oh, you're very nice, you're very nice. And then they start accommodating you. And this has happened in your world. So either you did not receive love at all, or it was inconsistent, or it was conditional to you. You have always been made feel that you need to work hard to get that love, as if you don't deserve it. You always need to prove yourself with the amount of money, with your behavior, with your social skills. You have been made to believe that you have to perform to receive anything. Maybe you have watched your parents work themselves to exhaustion for approval, for belonging, for stability. Maybe you have learned by watching it. But because of that, it has created an unsafe environment inside of yourself. This has created emotional wounds, whether you have noticed them or not. Wounds that are formed, uh, w- those wounds have formed distorted realities in your mind. They have made you believe that love needs to be earned, worth needs to be earned. And in that process, time and again, you have felt abandoned. You have felt unseen, like nobody understands you, like nobody, uh, you would have come across these thoughts. Why cannot people just accept me for who I am? Why is it so difficult to understand who I am? All of that unsafety has shifted you into living into survival mode. And over time, that survival mode dysregulated your nervous system. That is what that leads to inaction. Not because you don't care, but because somewhere deep inside, action doesn't feel safe. Taking action feels risky. Your body is not really aligned. Your subconscious is not aligned with that. Let me explain what is survival mode. So, survival mode is when your brain and your body is operating in a state of stress, constantly feeling like there's threat, even when there isn't one. So, instead of growth, creativity, and decision making, your mind is focused on avoiding danger. There's this mode on, there's some danger around you. So you're not going to be creative at that moment. What you're going to be on is getting out of it. So imagine you're walking in a jungle and you hear a tiger roar, right? Your body tensed up. Your heart is racing like anything. So you have only couple of options. You either fight or you fly, like you just run away, or you just freeze there. right? Now replace the jungle with daily life, stressful job, toxic relationships, financial struggles, childhood trauma, all of that is the tiger. Like it's keeping you in that state of alertness, even when there is no actual tiger chasing you. The stress, the toxic relationships, toxic environment, or financial struggles, or the childhood trauma that I just talked about, all of that becomes your trigger. All of that is a trigger zone for your mind to come into that state of alertness. When you are into survival mode, you're not thinking long term. You're just trying to get through the day. You don't care about anything else, going day by day. Okay, how am I feeling right now? Let me do this. That's the only vision that you have. Because creating safety is the priority, right? So you just focused on that. And this mode that our body is into is the reason why inaction feels so frustrating and confusing. It's like your mind wants to do it, like, but because your body is in survival mode, you can feel that resistance towards the actions that are unfamiliar or that feels risky, even if they're good for you. For a person wanting to go to the gym, they know it is good if I go to the gym, even if I don't achieve the target weight or whatever, but they know that it is good to go to the gym. But they're so afraid of, let's say, thinking about what people are going to feel. The the thought about the judgment of other people is making them feel so unsafe that it is comfortable for them to be at home rather than achieving that weight. And then they're crying, oh my God, I so want to do it, but I'm just not able to go there. That's where things need to work, those belief systems. I hope things are making sense to you. If you guys have any questions up until now, let me know. If not, we can move to the next part.
I have one, two questions.
Yeah,
I'm not even sure if they are questions, but I'm just
it's
like
okay.
putting out my thoughts out there.
Yeah.
So you mentioned about like fear in this or that aspect of your life, which is what is causing inaction.
Mm,
In my case, as far as I can recollect for all the instances I've been through, it is not even fear that stops me, but maybe it is uh my keenness towards focusing on distractions is so high that my priority towards focus takes a back seat. And I simply don't know the reason for it. In the sense that maybe I am too addicted to doom scrolling. Maybe my mind is controlled by the algorithm at this point. Maybe my physical lifestyle habits are not aligned, or maybe I'm doing too many things, which is why I'm just physically exhausted, and deep rooted I am mentally also exhausted, which is sort of causing all the inactions. But I wanted to ask, is it necessarily a fear of something that I need to like dig deep, or it is also like, matlab, I for no reason I will doom scroll when I have a lot of things pending. I will just keep them delaying and delaying and delaying, and then at the end there will come a deadline moment where I will finish the product in panic. And I don't know, I just waste a lot of my time in the day doing absolutely nonsense things, which I can simply shift the focus to and do a lot of pending things. And the things that I am deprioritizing or maybe like avoiding are not even like difficult things. Like if I can do a lot of those things in just 3 hours, then my week's procrastination or worrying about those tasks will be sorted. So like I just wanted to hear an opinion
Mm,
that sometimes look,
mm,
the the distraction appeals to distraction uh, attracts me very easily, as opposed to like it affects my ability to focus so much sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. I get what you're talking about. I have a couple of questions for you. Uh, okay, so one, do you think that you you have been so much in the habit of doing it at the last moment? Has that been the case for you
Yes, yes, always.
always? So basically, uh, your body is it loves that stress. Like again, this is also something until and unless you get into that zone, you will not take up action.
Understood. Makes sense.
That is one part. Another question is while you are into distraction, I would want you to reflect upon, are you trying to avoid something?
Not really. I don't know yet. Maybe if I introspect a little, I will come to know if I'm avoiding something. But I
Yeah,
know for the fact that there are some good things coming my way. I'll
that
give an example. If I have converted a client, they have also started working with me. It has been 4 days. I have not been able to like make a contract and send a confirmation email to them. That
hmm.
is such a big task for me to start from scratch, make an agreement because I have already other a lot of other things to do that I can do, but I am not even doing those timely. And then I don't know, some sort of laziness or inaction has kicked in, wherein so many of these tasks I am not able to accomplish, which I should easily accomplish in 8 hours of a working day.
So I can sense that there's some place your energy is going, something is disturbing you
Hmm.
inside. And I think from the conversation previously that we had, probably the January, February experience that you have, that has caused, that has triggered something inside of you.
I think that, or maybe the collective 3 year exhaustion of doing all of the things by myself and not being able to outsource or maybe expand. I don't know. Maybe when I will have a one-on-one with you, I will discuss this further.
Yeah.
But I
If
sometimes I find it very silly that what am I even doing? Like, what is even happening? How can that happen? Like, such things are very immature in my head. If I am running a business, this should never be the case. And no matter how self-aware I become, I also know the root causes of my inactions, but I will just not take action on that. The focus
hmm,
and the productivity bit is very, very low in my case. I have too many exciting things that I'm doing for on personal front, and I should have done them like in 15 days, but it is I've been delaying them, I've been sidelining them, and nothing has come out of it. There are too many things that I don't know.
I'm so thankful for you to bringing this up. This is the classic survival mode zone going on for you, for some reasons that we need to discover. Uh, can I ask you one thing? Did you feel rejected like when uh, things that happened in January and February, did it make you feel rejection up until to the level that it has been any time in the past?
So it was actually the opposite, but then some sort of, so I'll tell you. I actually felt very accepted in the sense that if I have been able to convert 6, 7 clients in one go,
Hmm.
I felt very excited and like I felt like, damn, I have to like really pace it up, start, I have to double my team strength from next month, this, that. But then when none of it sort of actually started happening, I felt very unlucky. I don't know the rejection is the right word in this case, but I personally felt that I'm doing everything right. They are convinced, they are impressed by me, they are excited, they're looking forward to work with me. But the situations that came up, which is why it couldn't happen. So I converted a startup as my client. They were very happy to start with me. But it has been 2 months and they have yet not received their funding. So we are waiting कि उनको funding मिलेगी तो हम काम start करेंगे. Now this
Hmm.
has nothing to do with me. Similarly, 2, 3, 4 situations wherein everything was correct on my end. They loved it, but it just did not start. In some cases, the CEO loved my presentation and everything that they wanted to go ahead with, but their stakeholders were a little traditional and old school. They would never even have dealt with me. Only the CEO would have gotten the work done by me, and he was aligned and he was a little modern and he understood marketing.
Mm,
But then again, it couldn't take off. So there were multiple situations. There was a company in Ahmedabad. They called me to office. I took a one flight one day early just to meet them in Ahmedabad. They
mm,
signed me in, and then one day the HR told me we are internally figuring some things out before we hire an agency, and then they never got back after
mm.
signing up, after getting a contract. So four, five such situations wherein I don't know. I just felt that I have done everything right, but it just doesn't start for me. Then I started feeling unlucky. After that, I've been working for an IPL team. I couldn't have been luckier. But not even for once I have felt like wow, I'm living my dream or I'm doing a good job. I am just very tired of this exhausting business, running a business wherein just do and do and do and sometimes. And now that I'm getting inquiries, discovery. I've crossed some followers on LinkedIn. I've achieved the goal that I had in mind. But I just don't feel accomplished or maybe energized or happy or motivated to sort of do things. I don't know.
So, Karan, I can sense that there is a huge receiving block uh, that you have and it is being manifested in these ways. If you would have seen that in all the things, in all the examples that you mentioned, we are talking about any external situation affecting you. And definitely a lot of inner work and one-on-one coaching goes into this. But maybe take some time and reflect upon what is it that you are blocking.
Yes, I will text you. Maybe we will
Yeah,
have 3, 4 sessions to sort of break through this.
yeah.
Because I have a lot coming up in the next 7, 8 months. And if I don't take action on this, I will lose everything that I'm also doing right now. I don't want to go
Okay,
to that zone. But yeah, we will speak one to one.
definitely.
And
Yeah,
maybe since you asked that if I have any questions, I was just telling that in some cases it is not even the fear.
yeah.
It's just something that sort of breaks your hope, and then for no reason you feel that you don't want
Hmm.
to do anything
Hmm.
despite doing everything right.
Yeah. I understand that, and to just give you a very short answer about this particular question, then it is yes, it is not always fears. It is sometimes the trauma wounds, emotional wounds as well that you have been carrying inside of you. And when some situation like this happens, it triggers you, and you again go into that safety net where you feel really comfortable not doing anything because the pain is just too much.
I mean,
So
yeah, I don't know if it can be called a trigger, but now I have sort of accepted that there's a particular range of work that I'm doing, and no matter how much I work, I will never cross that range. So whatever is coming is just temporary. It will not get converted, or even if it gets converted, it's okay, it's all right. I don't know. All
all
sort
of
of
that is a result, all of that is the result of the wound that you are carrying inside of you.
maybe I don't know. Yeah.
So, so this is exactly the point where you work on your beliefs, because if not, they will create different mindsets for you, which are really not helpful in the near future and even in the long run.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll take it one on one.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for asking that. Moving forward, the next part which I wanted to talk about, like we did talk about how survival mode is brings us into inaction, and we also saw through this the personal example that it is so frustrating and so confusing, right? When your body is in survival mode, like your mind constantly resists actions that feel unfamiliar or risky, or even if they're good for you, you just feel that resistance. So next thing that I wanted to talk about today was the signs that you are in survival mode. Okay. So the first sign is that you're constantly overwhelmed, feeling like there is always just too much to handle. You have been feeling this and these signs that I'm going to talk about, I need you to reflect upon it like from different angles of your life, that you have been feeling not just for work but probably personally also, maybe in a relationship interaction as well, that you've been feeling constant overwhelm. So for example, you wake up feeling exhausted, like oh my god, I have to pull through this day as well, like that exhaustion is there because your to-do list is never ending. You have deadlines at work, family responsibilities, unread messages, bills to pay, so many things that you're just waking up to and feeling like, oh my God, I need to do so many things. Every task feels urgent. You don't know where to start. And instead of tackling one thing at a time, you feel literally paralyzed by the sheer amount of work that you need to do. And so, so you see how this loop is going on. You feel overwhelmed, you feel exhausted. Then you are thinking about all the tasks that you need to do. Then again, you are feeling that exhaustion by just thinking that इतना करना है. अभी तक तो कुछ किया भी नहीं है. By sheer amount of the to do, you are pushing through the exhaustion, or you just shut down completely. So that is one sign that you're constantly overwhelmed. Another sign is decision paralysis. So you're struggling to make even the smallest of the decisions. So, for example, you are at a restaurant with friends, and even the menu is feeling too overwhelming. Okay, what do I need to eat? What shall I order? Uh, should I order salad? Should I order pasta? What would be good for me? What if you regret your choice? Like all of those thoughts, even for us, even for simpler and the smallest of decisions, they're crossing your head, and just keep hoping from other people that okay, let them make the decision. Maybe it will help me. Similarly, you are struggling decisions at work, what tasks to do, how do I talk to my boss, in relationships, with simple and even simply choosing what workout to do. How can I reply to this email? Should I reply to this or not? What is the tone? You're not able to make decisions. So that's called decision paralysis, and you have the fear of making wrong decisions that are keeping you stuck. So you're noticing that, am I making enough decisions in my life that are required from me? You're just stuck into that. Another sign is emotional numbness or irritability. So either you shut down or you react very aggressively. By numbness, what I mean is like if someone asks you, how are you? Like, yeah, I'm fine. If someone tells you something really, some sad news, you would not be really sad about it. You would not be excited about any good news. Yeah, okay, that is life, that happens. You're just existing. You're just like moving through life, feeling nothing, probably scrolling for hours. All of that is happening, and then you're getting like really irritated sometimes that even if like you snap at people, even if they are asking you a very simple question, but you just get irritated. Irritated at the small things like slow traffic, sound of someone chewing just triggers you, irritates you. Deep down, you're really exhausted, and instead of expressing it, it comes out as frustration. All of these situations you would have handled very normal, like it would not have these intense reactions. But since you are into this mode, it just happens very naturally. Automatically, you're having those reactions, either numbness or irritation. Then there is lack of motivation. You want to start a fitness routine, learn a new skill, apply for a better job, uh, but you can't seem to get out of yourself to do it because you feel like, oh, I don't feel motivated. You keep telling yourself maybe tomorrow. And then you watch others making progress, and instead of feeling inspired, you feel even more stuck. That why can't I just start? When will I get the motivation? How do I get myself to be motivated? Like instead of just starting, taking the first step, you're feeling stuck again into that. Another sign that you are into survival mode is procrastination. We all know about this one. We avoid important tasks due to fear or exhaustion. So You have important deadline, but instead of working, you binge watch and you justify I'll do it later. And again, just want you to notice that we are talking about a mindset here. We're not talking about, oh, I don't like this work, so I don't want to do it. We're talking about a mindset. You're looking at things like even the slightest thing, maybe your mom asked you to get something off the market and you'll be like, ah, I'll go in an hour or so, I'll look at it. Like in every little tiniest thing, this is coming up because inside of you, there's no energy left to deal with stuff because all of your energy is going into um, dealing, is going into creating that safety, and all of that is happening really inside. Sometimes you are just not aware about it. If you're someone who reflects upon yourself a lot, you may identify yourself battling your thoughts. But for people who don't, who are not really reflective about themselves, they would not even realize that this is happening. But again, that is why it is a sign that you need to look at that you are operating from survival mode. The more you delay, the more anxious you feel. All the hour that you delayed going to the market, you're like 1 hour. After 1 hour, I have to go. Oh my God, why do I need to do this? You're not doing the task, but you're spending your thoughts, you're spending your energy into that, and that is making you feel anxious. But even after that, instead of starting, you continue to distract yourself. Okay, I'll after this episode, I'll go. Let's see. Like right now, let me just watch it. That happens. Another sign is again people pleasing and overworking. That is basically either you're committing too much to people to avoid any conflict, or you are just afraid of rejections. That is essentially what people pleasing would mean, right? You say yes to helping other people with their work, even though you're already drowning in your own tasks. You don't want to disappoint them by saying no, or you don't want to seem unhelpful. Now you're overwhelmed, but you tell yourself that, okay, it's fine, I'll manage. That's classic sign of people pleasing. Overworking, you take on extra projects, you keep replying to emails late at night because you're not able to draw any boundaries. You convince yourself that working harder will give you more security and appreciation. But deep down, you're afraid that if you slow down, you'll lose respect or you'll fail. You're always afraid of those consequences, so you just keep working too much so that you you still get approval in people's eyes. Avoidance of opportunities. Uh, Even when something good comes to you, you feel hesitant to accept it. Now, this happens with a lot of people who are unable to identify, who are unable to belong to the goals that they have created. So, let's say someone got a promotion or a new job, but instead of excited, they're feeling the panic. They're starting to doubt themselves that, am I ready for this? What if I fail? What if they realize that I'm not good enough? And all of those excuses come up. So there's this promotion that I've got, and am I ready for it? Will I be able to attend to all the responsibilities? How will I do it? Is it the right time? Should I let the opportunity pass? So you're avoiding because you feel you don't deserve it. You are unable to shift your identity with that. You don't trust in yourself. You're not confident that you will take it up. Again, that is a sign that um, you might be into living into survival mode. All of these signs again are connected to one thing, that your mind and your body, basically you're operating from a place of fear, exhaustion, and protection rather than confidence and ease. You're protecting, you're working in the protection zone. So, and when you're constantly into this zone, you just you cannot live fully. You're just getting through the day. Which of these signs were you able to relate to the most? Let me know in the chat. What were those signs that you think that you're experiencing now? Mix of overwhelming and survival mode. Okay. Okay. Thanks for sharing that with me. Now I'll talk about what is keeping you into this zone. What is keeping you into your survival mode? The number one is unresolved trauma. So the past experiences keep your brain again stuck in threat detection mode. If you unresolve those trauma, it will stay inside of you. What is trauma is basically your response to something bad that has happened to you. So if somebody scolded you, maybe you put a spoon wrong at the wrong place, and somebody scolded you for that. And this is childhood I'm talking about. Somebody scolded you for that. That situation isn't trauma, but whatever has happened inside of you, your emotional reaction, your emotional sadness, what your body has felt because of that, that is trauma. So, has it been ever been like you have walked into a meeting and you have felt like your heart racing, not because the topic that you have researched is something that you're unaware of or not comfortable with that, but it actually reminded you of a time that while you just entered, you gone back to someone criticizing you in a room full of people, and then that sense of fear again comes shows up in your body. That happens, right? That happens when we haven't resolved what has happened to us back then when we were criticized in the room full of people. Or maybe you struggle to speak up in a group because growing up you're always told that don't talk back. So the next time you want to speak up, you'll think you'll don't talk back, and it has caused so much of fear and confusion inside of you. You struggle to stay in the group. You struggle to speak up your own voice. So your brain has basically connected similar situations to past pain that keeps you in the hesitation mode. So that is what, so such situations keep coming in and your trauma is unresolved. So every time such situation come in, your brain goes into this threat detection mode and it keeps you in the survival mode. So again, it gets into that protection zone instead of uh, like you working very rationally, right? The fears that we talked about, fear of failure, fear of rejection. So your mind, fear, we all know that fear means you see it as danger, not as a challenge. Uh, so like imagine you have always wanted to start something on your own, and every time you sit down to start, your brain is like, what if this fails? So instead of taking that risk, you clean the house or you binge watch or you do. So those fears are coming up again and again, and that is what is keeping you stuck into this zone. And we talked about, right? We do have the intention, not that you do not want success, but it's your mind that is wired to avoid the pain of failing. Then low self-worth. If you feel that you don't deserve happiness, you don't deserve success, you keep giving excuses that um that's okay, Karan.
Thank you
You
so much. I'll see you one-on-one chat with you soon. Thank you so much for this workshop. I have a call at 6. I'm leaving. I'm so sorry. Bye bye.
bye, take care.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining. So low self-worth, feeling undeserving of success or happiness. You finally get the promotion you have worked so hard for, and instead of celebrating, your first thought is like, did they make a mistake? Do I deserve this? Am I ready for this responsibility? And then because you feel you don't deserve it, you start overworking to prove a point, and you start over apologizing for things, and then you feel like an imposter. Then again, that threat mode, that danger mode is on inside your brain. So that again keeps you in survival mode. Identity conflict. This is something that we have seen very commonly, that we are always struggling between who we are and what society expects us to be. But like identity conflict, like it's so deep. Uh, let's say uh, we have been told to be a good child, a good son, good daughter, and is and they have told you even the definition that a good daughter is someone who sacrifices their dreams for the family. So when an opportunity comes that could change your life, you hesitate, you wondered, am I being selfish? And all of that reflection is making you feel unsafe and keeping you into survival mode. Then another behavior is that is keeping you in survival mode is perfectionism. You you want to perfectionism or overthinking. You want to control everything to avoid failure. Again, it is obviously related to the fear of failure. But then, yeah, like that behavior, that thought pattern is again keeping you into survival mode. That no matter what, I want things to be perfect. I need the right workout plan first. I need, um, I will not post unless my content is not perfect. All of that, you're indulging into such things. Then there is fear of freedom. Having the choice to do anything can feel really overwhelming because always you have had people making decisions for you. You have had people telling you what to do. So you never really learned, you never really built up or worked upon building that trust within yourself. And now, suddenly, when you have finally the freedom to choose, you freeze. Should you take the job or quit? Should you do things in this way or that way? Should you move to different city or not? Etc. etc. So instead of making a decision, you avoid it. And avoiding the decision is not getting you anywhere, and it's not solving any of your problem. Because making the decision means owning the consequences, and that feels really terrifying to you. And again, that terror is causing the unsafety, right? Now, how do you get out of survival mode? We've discussed why we are in inaction. We talked about how there is this alignment between our conscious and subconscious, between the energy that we carry. We talked about what are the signs, what is keeping us stuck into that. But then, how do you get out of it? I like to tell you that you cannot think your way out of it. You cannot just wait for motivation. You cannot just set goals and hope for the best. You have to rewire your brain the way your brain reacts to stress and fear. You have to figure out the triggers, you have to figure out what external things are coming in and how is my brain reacting to that. Instead of asking yourself, why am I like this? Ask, what part of me is still trying to protect me? Instead of judging yourself for inaction, get curious about it. And most importantly, remind yourself your fears doesn't mean stop. And your fears are also never gonna stop. Your self-doubt doesn't mean that you're not capable. Your resistance doesn't mean you're lazy. It just means that there's something deeper belief inside of you that needs healing. So there's a simple tool that I would love to leave you with today. There are a couple of reflective questions, belief reflection that I would like you guys to do. So here are certain questions if you want to note them down. What is the one thing that you want to do but you haven't started yet? What thoughts come up when you imagine starting it? What deeper belief might be hiding into these thoughts? How old is that belief? If that belief was, if that belief wasn't true, what would be possible for you? These are a couple of reflective questions I would like you guys to go through. Ask yourself these questions. What is it that you have not started? What thoughts come up when you think about doing that action? What are the deeper beliefs that might be hiding behind these thoughts? And how old are these beliefs? If these beliefs weren't true, what would I be able to achieve? What would be possible for me? When you get deeper into, when you reflect, when you get deeper into it, you'll start finding amazing answers for yourself. Because healing begins the moment we stop blaming ourselves, when we stop feeling sorry for ourselves, and start listening to what our inner world is trying to tell us. That's it from my side today. If you have any questions, it would be a good time. And even if you want to ask questions later on, my DMs are always open to all the people who are watching it as a recording. You can always send me your questions. And I hope this has been helpful to you. And I hope after this, you might be start getting into action. I'll see you guys in the next session.